Hey there everybody, I'm back again with a line of figures that I'm very excited to check out and talk about. It's the world's smallest micro action figures, specifically from their horror line. A line of figures encompassing a wide variety of horror legends, featuring many of the classic Universal monsters, and even spanning back to creatures from the silent movie era, all the way up to more contemporary horror icons. So let's take a closer look at them to find out just how
spooky scary
they really are.
Count Micro Machine Man here. I live for the night, so I carry my own light. Micro lights. Touch them like slow, they really glow, but that's not all. Try these amazing Micro Machines lights to sound vehicles. They come with a mighty mini building, have a real glowing emergency lights and make two sounds. Check out these super micro lights with lights that glow and passengers to go. Where do you play with this light and sound show? The Combat City playset. There's a happening heliport, military lift, pivoting gun turret, and fantastic firing rocket. But look out, in case of a real emergency. Get the Emergency City playset. There's the fabulous White House, ambulance station, rear ramp, and helipad. Micro lights, lighted sound vehicles, super micro lights, and playsets, each sold separately from Galoob. Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing!
Did I pick that commercial just because John Machida Jr. is in a Dracula cape and he's talking about micro-sized toys? Yes, I did. Is that connection tenuous at best? Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure I've used the Universal Monsters 1/18 scale action figure commercial in a previous video, although that would have worked great, but I already used it once. I didn't want to use it again. I still got the Skulls and Bats tablecloth. That's a little too shiny. The lighting is kind of weird in here. I mentioned in another video that you may or may not have seen about how I got some new lights. There are some people that have mentioned how dark it is in some of the videos, so I was trying to get some lights to work that out, and I've been trying to figure out exactly how to place them or where to place them that works best. And this clearly isn't it. So I'll keep working on that, and eventually, hopefully, I'll get it figured out. And I'm going with a bit of a blue filter. That might be a little bit too much. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with that also. Anyway, so now that is out of the way, let's take a closer look at these. Series 1 is the only series that I know of the horror figures that has 4 characters in it. Series 2 and then 3 with the more contemporary figures only have 3 figures apiece. Series 1 features Dracula, and as you can see here, Frankenstein. I know, not referred to as Frankenstein's monster. I know that will be upsetting to some folks. Then we also have the Invisible Man and Graf Orlok himself, Nosferatu. Kind of interesting that there are 2 vampires in the initial set. And it's also kind of curious that notably absent are the Wolfman and the Gill Man, or the creature from the Black Lagoon, however you refer to that character. Upon taking a closer look, you may notice another curious choice made by the manufacturers in that Dracula is wearing a very white, very puffy shirt.
Now that's a great looking shirt.
Not in a more traditional black garb. Seems like a kind of a bold choice there for Dracula. Not quite sure why they went with that. Doesn't ruin the figure, just kind of an odd choice. The only thing I can figure is maybe they thought it would be too similar to the other figures in the line, as Nosferatu is wearing a sort of dark gray, and the other 2 characters are clad in black, so maybe that was their concern. This is another one that they say glows in the dark. I will have to maybe check that out. So inside this collectible case that I do believe pops open, you have the little action figure on its own card back. That's a pretty cool touch. I like that. I don't know why I'm even using the side cameras. You probably can't see anything. They're so tiny, you probably can't see anything there anyway. Let's take a look at Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster.
My name is Frankenstein!
It appears that most of these claim they glow in the dark. I didn't even notice that on the packaging. The only one I noticed that on was Nosferatu. I didn't notice that on Dracula or Frankenstein's monster. Pretty cool, as the hands chained together. I am enjoying that. Next up is the Invisible Man. He's the only one in this series that doesn't state that he glows in the dark, but he is translucent, which I think is a nice touch. His hands and his head are made of clear plastic. So me being an old school action figure geek, glow in the dark stuff and translucent stuff combined with monster figures, horror figures, is kind of hitting all the right notes with me. Speaking of right notes, there's also no Phantom of the Opera. And we have one of my personal favorites, card back with the classic shadow of Nosferatu going up the stairs. Very cool. I am digging that a lot. This one, like I said, also glows in the dark, supposedly. I might have to test and see how well that works. Moving on, although I do intend to pop this one open because he's the only one I have 2 of, because I'm a cheapskate. Series 2 features the Egyptian mummy. I don't know why they can't call it the mummy or Imhotep or whatever. I guess for licensing reasons I fail to understand. The little accessory there, if you can't quite see, it's wrapped up in cellophane behind him, is the little sarcophagus So that's a nice little accessory. I wouldn't expect to get accessories with a figure of this size, but that's pretty cool. So we've got the Egyptian mummy. Then we also have Baxter Stockman. I mean, the Fly. Obviously, the old school 1958 version, and not the more contemporary Jeff Goldblum, David Cronenberg flick. Very cool figure. Little sci-fi horror is always appreciated. Very cool. I'm enjoying that. And then finally, the third figure in Series 2 is the Headless Horseman. Really cool. The Jack-o'-lantern head. I am loving that design. And on this one it says, one figure, one head, one mini blister card, and one stand. So does he have a severed head accessory that I'm not seeing anywhere? I don't know. Anyway, I'm confused about that. And I'm also confused that out of all of the figures in all of the series, the only one that says Legend on it is the Fly. You're going to tell me that Dracula or Nosferatu don't have legendary status? I am mildly offended by that. And then our final set of figures feature, as I mentioned, the more contemporary horror figures, including Chucky, Michael Myers, although here it's only listed as Halloween 2, and Michael Myers' name is not mentioned anywhere on the packaging, as far as I can see, and something of a surprising addition in the form of Hellboy from Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. I guess he counts as a horror figure. Those are horror-themed comic books. Most of the story is centering on supernatural elements, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. And he's also under the Universal banner, so I guess it all works out. And I wouldn't mind if that was a bridge or link to more comic book related characters too. That would certainly be cool with me. I wouldn't have any problem with that. So yeah, Chucky comes with a knife accessory, very tiny knife, but a big fat melon head.
Look at the size of that boy's head. Shh. I'm not kidding, it's like an orange on a toothpick.
We wouldn't expect anything less, and hopefully he didn't hear me say that.
He'll be crying himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
Anyway, very cool, looking pretty gruesome there on the back. Pretty cool. Then we have Halloween 2, aka Michael Myers, also with a tiny knife accessory. Then we have Hellboy, who seems scaled a little bit small compared to the other ones when he should be towering over them a bit. Maybe not Frankenstein's monster, but pretty much everybody else. But that's okay. I'm just glad he's here. Comes with his handgun accessory, the Samaritan. So those are all very cool, and I promised you we would crack at least one open. What a great guy I am to open one of these figures. But there are only 3 points of articulation. So I do think one figure, you'll pretty much get the gist of what's going on with these. So we'll take a look at that articulation, and we will test out that glow-in-the-dark feature, see how well that works out. So let's pop open old Graph and take a closer look. Through the magic of editing, you'll never know this, but I just dipped out and try to find the least destructive way of opening these things. And guess what? I don't think there is one. Looks like most people are just slicing them open and pulling the figure out. I hate to do that, but I don't see any way to do it without wrecking the thing anyway. So that makes me sad. Oh well, I've got another one. This packaging on this little figure is pretty cool, I believe. Oh, I'm gonna break something again, aren't I? The little door opens in the back. This little wrapper contains your little figure stand. Oops, extreme close-up. Pretty basic, but that's all you need. Yeah, there's a little tab here that helps you pull the figure out. All one solid little piece of plastic there with the Mego Corporation logo on it. And here is our teeny tiny micro Nosferatu. Listen to me getting all fancy with it. Will the camera be able to focus? Probably not. Our 3 points of articulation, I'm going to guess, are the arms and probably the head turns. I'm going to say that's probably about it, but that's fine. I mean, a figure of this scale, I don't expect a whole lot to be going on. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about the lack of articulation. Because it's made with out of a piece of glow-in-the-dark plastic, I think the detailing is quite so great. Dang, he's hard to see. Oh, come on, camera. Focus. Almost there. Almost got it. Almost got it. Curses. That's about as good of a look as you're going to get, I think, just based on the tininess of this figure. Not bad sculpting with what we're working with. Now that might help if I get my finger in there. That didn't sound right. Anyway, yeah, not too terrible. Sorry you have to get these close-ups of my horrible looking fingernails. I apologize for that. So yeah, good sculpting for a figure this size. Not fantastic. Once again, I think the translucent plastic, the glow-in-the-dark plastic, is kind of why some of the detail is lacking. But yeah, very cool. The stand goes on. Very, very cool. You guys want to test out this glow-in-the-dark feature? I think we should test out this glow-in-the-dark feature. Let's see if it works. Okay, now is the critical moment. Yep, again, I promise you, it works. You just can't see it. The head and the hand are glowing, the right hand, but the left hand doesn't appear to be showing up, so that is disappointing. I promise you it's glowing. It's just another one of those cases of where the naked eye can pick it up, but the cameras are having a hard time doing so. I really need to invest in like a low light video camera or something more sensitive that can pick it up. But yeah, it definitely works. It's just a lot cooler in person than on camera. Trust me, I would not fib to you about that. So yeah, these are pretty cool. The sculpting is pretty good for figures of this size. The articulation is, you can't expect a whole lot from something in this scale. Some of the little gimmicks and features are pretty neat. Maybe they don't deliver quite as stunningly as one would like, but they're still pretty neat. Are they worth the asking price? That's debatable. It depends on how big of a fan you are. They are cool, but $7 worth of cool, that's kind of iffy. Maybe pick out your favorites. If you're a die-hard collector, you might want to get them all. If you're a die-hard horror fan, you might want to pick them all up. If not, maybe pick out your favorites here and there and be a little bit more selective. I think they would make a fun gift idea for somebody. Stocking stuffer, Halloween basket, whatever. I definitely enjoy having a Nosferatu at any scale. As I mentioned, I really enjoy that Headless Horseman design. That's definitely one of my favorites. I like the Fly one, not my favorite movie of all time, but I do enjoy that character design, and they've captured it well in the toy. So anyway, what do you guys think? Is this something you would collect? Something you would enjoy having in your collection? Something you would think about giving as a gift? A little novelty gift or something of that nature? Do you have any particular favorites of your own? So feel free to let me know if you are so inclined. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. That'd be great. Comment if you would like. That would also be great. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And until next time, I will see you.
Power